Hello everyone, I'm Shahanur Sharif from Explorer Brothers. Today I am going to reviewing Sigma 56mm 1.4 DCDN lens. And this lens Sigma has developed for mirrorless cameras. Previously, Sigma developed lenses for Sony and Canon mirrorless camera. Recently, Sigma has launched their mirrorless lineup lenses for Fujifilm as well. So it's a good news for Fujifilm users. It is the sixth lens of Sigma DN family of APS-C and Micro Four Third mirrorless camera, and this Sigma lens came from the ARC family, so you'll get the almost similar quality in the half of the price. Now I'm going to talk about the build quality of the Sigma 56mm lens. As with the other two lenses in the Sigma Prime trio, the Sigma 56mm has a spectacular body quality. The metal exterior is coupled with plastic interior component to be both durable and lightweight. And it's only 280 gram. I also love the short barrel length of just 60mm. This is incredibly compact for the compatibility it offers in terms of focal length and minimum aperture. The short length balance especially well with the compact mirrorless camera bodies it's designed for. As I expected, the barrel has a nice large rubberized focus ring that gives the lens a nice grippy and durable feeling. So this lens has a seal at the lens mount, not so nice as having additional seal inside the lens, but it's a start. The seal enhances the lens adaptability, so you don't have to quit shooting when the weather is not so bad. Sigma will give you, this lens is shipped with a free hood that prevents sun flare or light flare. And it has soft touches material, different texture and lens information. It has a 9-rounded aperture blade that maintain a circular form even when the lens is shut down. Now the very important part. Now I'm going to talk about the Sigma 56mm autofocus system. The focus speed is actually very rapid and very silent. It has an STM model and it is very quiet. But when setting in AF-C or AF-S, you will hear a nice little audible noise. So you have to be very careful while using internal camera microphone. So the focusing technique is likewise incredibly precise. It's wonderful and alternative for capturing an event like wedding or birthday. It's really sharp and give you a very nice bokeh effect at f1.4 and f1.8. allowing you to shoot at that aperture, separate people from a throne and keep the ISO level low. That means autofocus is very good at low light as well. I have no concern regarding the lens autofocus. It's quick, it's precise and it's silent. Now let's talk about the image quality of the Sigma 56mm. There is a lot like here as well as few things to dislike. The 56mm has only one true objective optical flaw. It has a very large level of pincushion distortion that elude in the camera or profile remedies. This is possibly the sharpest APS-C lens that I have ever tested. It's certainly the sharpest APS-C lens I have ever examined. At f8, the lens sharpness is practically flawless, with a pin-sharp center of the picture and nearly as sharp corner. At f5.6, the lens sharpness is also pin-sharp in the center of the picture and little bit softer at the corner. At f4, the lens sharpness is also pin-sharp in the center of the picture and less softer at the corner than the 5.6 aperture. At 2.8, the lens sharpness is also pin-sharp in the center of the picture and a little bit blurry at the corner. At f1.8, the lens sharpness is also pin-sharp in the center of the picture and less sharp at the corner than f2.8 aperture. At f1.4, the lens sharpness is also pin-sharp in the center of the picture and not sharp at the corner. Especially the defocus area are very soft. This lens has been developed for portrait photography, so the focus area will be sharper and defocus area will be softer. It's because of wide open aperture. Now let's talk about vignetting test. Raw images show a heavy light fall at f1.4. A vignetting of 1.7 EV is easily visible. Stopping down to f2 help, but issue is only mostly resolved from f4 onward. Once again, the image autocorrection comes to rescue. It reduces the vignetting by about 1 EV at f1.4, while may still spot the resulting 0.7 EV drop in critical scenes. It usually not a deal breaker. The light fall off is basically gone from f2.8 in this case. Now I'm going to talk about chromatic aberration test of this lens. The chromatic aberration are close to none, implying that the wide open contrast and sharpness are outstanding even in difficult situations. This shot would have been extremely difficult for a lens suffering from chromatic aberration, but as you can see, the texture are perfectly crisp and detailed. I have taken this picture at f16. So if I zoom in out, as you can see that this lens is suffering chromatic aberration, but it's very tiny. So you can correct it by one click in the Lightroom. As you can see, it's gone. Now let's talk about the weakness of this lens is barrel distortion. Now we are going to test this out. The original characteristics is hardly impressive with a pincushion distortion excess of 2.8%. This is rather extreme for such a prime lens. Of course, in real life, this may be a lesser issue if you keep image autocorrection activated. Surprisingly, it just eases the issue but doesn't eliminate it completely. However, at 0.6%, it's not really something to worry about. So many people say that this lens is a bokeh master. Now let's test this out. Let's have a look at the highlight first. They're almost perfect in the image center at least. The inner zone of the disc is very clean and there is no outlining to speak of. The discs are circular at f1.4 and mostly f2.0. The more edgy aperture sharp start to emerge at f2.8. The bokeh fringing is a color fringing effect on the z-axis. It shows up a purplish halos in front of the in-focus zone and greenish beyond. The effect is visible at f1.4 and f2 and starts fading at f2.8. This is typical behavior of a non-APS lens. At landscape aperture, the lens delivers photos that are exceptionally crisp and detailed with excellent color and contrast. This lens should be considered by landscape photographer as an extra framing out for landscape subject. Because of its small size and exceptional optical performance, this lens would be ideal for carrying around as an alternative to a mid-range telephoto lens. Another significant advantage of the 56mm is its excellent glare resistance at all tested apertures. To be honest, this is unusual for a lens with this focal length. When it comes to absolute sharpness and aberration control, the Sigma definitely win at the pixel level. This normally Sigma's goal. They prioritize winning sharpness battle above all else and do an excellent job at it. However, as a customer, you must determine which technique is most suited to your needs, and every lens has a sweet spot. To me, this lens is very good at f1.8 and 4. This lens' prime priority is portrait photography. I believe it will perform admirably in most settings. The 56mm has lot more good than bad usually. It's compact, adaptable, and highly sharp. I wouldn't hesitate to have it in my backpack. I'm blown away with the Sigma 56mm 1.4 that it fills a niche in the market that few others do. Now we have highly capable lenses at 1.4 apertures at focal lengths of 16, 30, and 56mm, covering wide angle, normal, and mid-range telephoto. All these lenses are portable, easy to carry, and sacrifice very little optically with compared to bulkier combination. Now, Sigma has exercised discipline in pricing these lenses. All of them are under $500 mark. At the time of this review, the Sigma 56mm is only under $420 mark, which I consider to be very acceptable price in terms of quality it provides. The Sigma 56mm lens is the sharpest lens that I have ever tested, and also sharpness was seen across a wide range of real-world lightning conditions. It features excellent color reproduction, excellent aberration correction, and flare resistance, and fast, precise autofocus. It performed well for both still and videos, and I believe it will be a popular lens among many photographers. There is some visible incursion distortion, and bokeh is a tad crowded, but there is a far more to be commented than to complain. Take a close look at the Sigma 56mm 1.4. If you are a mirrorless shooter seeking a medium telephoto lens with a brilliant maximum aperture, this isn't the best option for you. Now let me remind you one thing. Please subscribe to our channel and press the notification bell icon. Thank you.